Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Wild Rift video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at patch 2.4 for Wild Rift. We've got new champions, new skins, changes, and a whole load of changes as well, and so much more. But as always, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what your thoughts are of patch 2.4. Now, this was again a bit of a mess at release, I'm not going to lie. Yesterday, the patch kind of came out early, and I did do an early stream yesterday morning where we were trying to look through all the changes and see what's changed. But then they reverted the patch, but you had to restart your game to re-download the patch. So there was still some people, like me and Snitch, who still had the patch downloaded. So we both streamed, we were both looking at, you know, all the changes and trying to figure out what there was. So it was good fun with me and Snitch yesterday morning. I want to thank him for helping me out, trying to find all the changes yesterday. Some of you may know that, some of you may not know that. So some of these changes you might have heard before if you've seen my Twitter thread or if you've seen on my streams or anything like that. But we're going to go through the official notes now. These are all official, no leaks or anything anymore. These are the actual notes for patch 2.4. As you can see straight away, we got Brand. We got the new Frost and Flame event, which is coming along as well, which is going to be really, really cool. So Brand, the first one coming out September 9th, which is just over a week away. You can play Brand as a support. You can also play him as a mid laner as well. Does a lot of burst magic damage and just is all about AoE. So you can bounce flames. You can bounce flaming balls pretty much across, you know, multiple champions. You have this AoE flame that's on the floor. You have a stun as well. If you land an ability and if you use your first ability, you can stun a target, which is really, really nice. So really, really cool champion overall. Be interesting to see how he fits in the meta. Will he be a mid laner? Will he be a support? We'll have to wait and find out. And then we have Nunu and Willem. Now, this champion pretty much just gets played in the jungle, but you can play him tank, but you can also play him AP. So it just depends on how the numbers are going to be, what the items are going to be like for him and everything like that. I think most likely you will see him as a tank. But he's very, very good. He rolls around with a ball. He has a big, massive AoE ultimate that shields himself and does a lot of damage. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see if he's going to be either an AP build or a tank build. But two really, really fun champions. Really looking forward to it. Again, Nunu Willump is going to release September 9th. Don't be mistaken, Nunu and Willump is not two champions. It's just the same champion. Nunu is the big bear and Willump is the little, his little friend that always follows him around. We have a few new skins. You have the Jade Dragon Wukong, Gatekeeper Galio, and Popstar Ahri, which is quite cool. And then releasing September 9th with the new champions. You've got Arclight Brand, Spiritfire Brand, Grungy Nunu? I don't even know what skin that is. And then Zombie Slayer Nunu. Zombie Slayer Nunu is really, really good. Spiritfire Brand is also really, really good. The other two are kind of weird. I actually can't even remember what this Nunu skin is, to be totally honest. But some really, really cool skins. Also with the event as well, you have a few emotes and a few, you know, different event things like respawn, icon borders. You got the icons, the baubles as well. So some other cool things, and then you have the event as well. But this is the main thing that everyone wants to look at. Now, I'm hoping, I haven't actually looked at this yet. I'm hoping I got most of them correct. We'll have to, obviously I'll read through and I'll let you know my thoughts about all these changes. First one is ReBug Fix. Movement speed will now properly decay over time. Now, obviously, this is something that we cannot really like check in terms of patch notes or anything like that, or like in the game itself, because it's you know, there's no display or anything with bug fixes. You have to actually play the game and compare it, which obviously we didn't have enough time to do. So yeah, nice little bug fix, I guess. Makes it though so Ahri lose a bit of movement speed over time on second ability, which is quite cool. Now Akali, this was the first champion. Akali is performing too well in the barrel lane. We're taking some of the power out of her passive to make it more difficult to for her to secure a lead in the laning phase. So movement speed now on the passive has gone down, which is what we saw, and we saw the base damage has gone down. So we could only check level 1 on the base damage on the passive, but it seems like at max rank as well it's also gone down. So at level 15 it has also gone down as well by quite a substantial amount. And obviously the passive is one of the main important things with Akali, allowing her to, you know, move out in and out of team fights, allow her to do a lot more damage. And obviously with her passive she can restore energy as well. So she's definitely going to be hit, especially in the laning phase. She already kind of struggles in the laning phase, so it's going to make it even harder for her in the laning phase. So we'll have to see how that works out. Again, Akshan, I think we got most of these changes. Base damage on first ability went up. You have a new crit on the third ability, which is quite substantial, to be fair. Just can now critically strike for 150% damage. So you might be seeing like a crit Akshan build, especially because the ultimate now, so the damage per tick is increased by crit chance up to 50%, and at 100%, 20, 25, 30 plus 12.5% of the AD as well, and then 1 plus, you got all numbers here, 1 plus 50% crit, 80, 100, 120 plus 80%, and then 1 plus 50% crit. It's basically your ultimate can crit now, which is really, really nice. So you do up to 50% at 100% crit chance. So really, really nice. Quite a nice change. They're trying to make Akshan more meta. I do think like he is in a bit of a rough spot at the moment. So adding crit to the third ability and the ultimate, you'll probably see crit Akshan coming back. You kind of saw it changed out a little bit where it was more of an on-hit Akshan with like Wit's End, Blades of the Rune King, things like that. But I think probably crit Akshan will come back, and maybe we might have to give Akshan a try in ADC. We'll have to give a try and see how things work out. Gragas, again, we got most of these. Oh, this is an interesting one. Armor per level has gone down. We didn't really see this before. 106 at 15 is now gone down to 101. So this is a hard thing to kind of figure out because we didn't really look at base stats. Base stats was one of the hardest things to look at yesterday. So armor per level has gone down, which is quite interesting, by 0.4 per level, which makes it 5 at level 15. Little changes, but not really too substantial. This change is pretty huge, to be honest. The base damage on his first ability going down pretty substantially, especially at level 1. You normally max your first ability, if I'm not mistaken, so you probably won't feel this effect too much. But just, you know, stopping his poking out in the early game is quite nice. And obviously, the slow as well has gone down by 10% at all ranks, which is another big thing. And then his second ability has gone up by 0.5 seconds in terms of cooldown. So, again, just kind of, you know, stopping Gragas being that tank little force that he can be. And also, obviously, with his AP as well. His AP build will probably still be fine. His armor build... his tank build will probably still be fine as well. It's just that he can't really harass as much in the laning phase like he normally does. So, is what it is, I guess. So, we'll have to see where Gragas fits in the meta. Katarina, though, this is one we didn't find. Katarina, base health has gone down by nearly 100. Gone down by 80. Wow, 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 wow. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I was just counting to make sure it was 80. Yeah, it is 80. Quick maths, chat. Quick maths. Yeah, 80 base health in the early game. That's a lot. That is a lot of base health in the early game. I guess they weren't quite confident with the way Katarina was sitting at the moment in terms of how much HP she was on. Obviously, she's already quite mobile with all her abilities, so maybe she wasn't getting poked out as much and kind of punished in a way. So, very, very interesting change. Obviously, it affects Katarina quite a lot, especially in the laning phase. Probably as the game goes on, it doesn't really... affect her as much, but in the laning phase it definitely affects her quite a bit. Kennen, I think looks like we got all of these. Base damage has gone up on the first ability. The on hit now on Electrical Surge, the second ability, has gone up. It also gives, well, it gives more bonus AD now, so it's 70, 80, 90, 100 bonus AD, and it gives even more AP as well in terms of scaling. So the AP is flat 25, used to be 20. AD used to be 60, but now it's 70, 80, 90, 100 per level. And also the bonus attack speed on your Lightning Rush, the third ability, has also gone up by 10 per rank. Will this make ADC Kennen a thing? Probably not, but you know what? It might be worth trying. This is going to be very, very good for him in terms of the laning phase. You know, you're going to be able to bully out people now in the laning phase. You won't be, you know, sitting back kind of struggling in terms of laning phase, because that's kind of what happened with Kennen. Obviously, he was really, really strong when he first came out, and then when he got hit by a few nerfs, then he kind of fell out in the meta a little bit. So obviously you got the poke of the first ability going up, you got the on-hit damage from the second ability, and then even the lightning rush as well. There was like an AD Kennen build way back when, Blade of the Rune King, Rune's Hurricane, things like that, kind of like on-hit, Wit's End as well. So maybe it might be worth trying to see if this bonus AD will really be substantial and really be useful. Obviously the bonus attack speed as well, but we'll We'll have to wait and find out and see. Kha'Zix. We didn't check the base stats, but base health regen has gone down by 2.5. So making him a bit squishy in the jungle, and if he wants to go like in and out of fights and things like that as well. So makes him a little bit less squishy. Obviously the damage has gone down, the Taste of Fear, the first ability, and the healing has gone down for the Void Spike. So just toning Kha'Zix down a little bit. He was kind of strong at the moment, especially the isolation range and the isolation damage I think is quite high, which I think they should have really tweaked in terms of the isolation damage. But again, you know, I'm quite happy with the Kha'Zix nerfs and how that's going to be hopefully ending up. We'll have to wait and see. Master Yi health per level has gone down by 10, so that's 150 at the maximum rank. A little bit HP, nothing too crazy. Now both of these are kind of reverts. They're still a buff of the previous 2.4 patch, but they've kind of made it in the middle now because they kind of over buffed it a little bit. So Star's true damage has gone down by a little tiny bit. The Highlander ultimate cooldown has also gone down by a little bit as well. So pretty much a revert of what it was before, but kind of in the middle of the two. So yeah, Master Yi was quite strong, to be fair, especially with Solari Chargeblade and things like that as well, which Solari Chargeblade we'll get into later on when we get into the items. We got Rakan. Rakan base damage has gone up on the second ability. Oh, now this ability. Okay, chap. So with the battle dance, okay, by the way that this is reading, I was correct, but I still think it could be the other way as well. So it says bonus shield amount when cast on Zyra, 200 has now gone down to 125. Now, the thing is that on the actual game itself, it said increased by 125%, whereas before it just said doubled. So obviously people are saying if it's increased by 125%, it's increased by 100%, which the base was 45, plus an extra 25%. And obviously doubled is 200%. But I think the way that they worded it, they wanted to word it was like this. So bonus shield amount when cast on Zyra has gone from 200% down to 125%. So it looks like I'm correct by the official patch notes, but again, the wording was a little bit off and was a little bit red, so maybe they'll change that tomorrow, who knows. And then the quickness movement speed's gone up as well. But I think Zyracon was really, really strong as a duo. I think this is a really, really nice change. But also buffing other areas as well. Movement speed is really nice in the ultimate, and the base damage is quite a nice buff on the second ability, so I have to see how that goes. Soraka, I'm not really too sure if this is a buff or a nerf. I think overall it's a nerf, so I'll try and fear too much with Mortal Offense. It's a recent buff without risking enough, which you know down a bit. So I think this is a nerf. I'm not 100% sure. Rejuvenate buff duration on self has gone down. The total heal has gone down. Oh, okay. Oh, so the total heal actually went down. I don't think I saw this. I think I saw the AP going down, but I didn't realize the actual total heal went down as well. Oh, I can't remember if I actually got the total heal or not. So I think overall it is a nerf. And obviously the rejuvenation buff on ally has gone down as well. So overall it is a nerf. Obviously they buffed Soraka in the last patch. There's a bit of a, again, another bit of a revert, but changing different stuff, different things about Soraka. So we'll have to see how that goes. Thresh, we got the base stats correct. Base health gone up and base health regen has gone up, which is quite nice because Thresh is a bit squishy in the early game. Passive base soul rate has now gone up. So it used to be 33%, but now it's 40%. Bad luck protection unchanged. Not really too sure what that means. I think bad luck protection is maybe if Thresh's souls don't drop after a certain number of minions, maybe he's guaranteed to get a soul at a certain point. I'm not really too sure how that works. But drop rate has gone up. Obviously, they don't normally like to release the stats in terms of drop rate. That's why you don't really know the drop rate of Senna, but they do want to, you know, see that the show that the soul drop on Thresh. So it's nice that the soul drop percentage has gone up, so you might get a few more souls. That means you get more AP and more armor, which is quite nice. Shield strength on the second ability has gone up early levels, but down in the higher levels. Well, only max level actually it went down by 5, but overall a buff to Dark Passage, and also the Flay as well. Passage's charge time has gone from 10% to 6%. I don't think I saw this. I must have missed this, which is quite interesting. So the charge time has gone from 10% to 6%. So this means that it requires less time until your next auto attack becomes allows you to do more damage, basically. So basically how Flay works is that the patch's charge time, the auto attack, after 10 seconds your next auto attack does more damage, but now it'll be after 6 seconds it does more damage. So overall it is a buff, which is quite nice. Wukong, they removed the 80% healing reduction modifier when attacking minions. Now, this means that the first ability now heals 100% of the time on minions. I did check this to make sure that healing was still available on minions, and it does still work, because I did test this out yesterday morning, so it's quite nice. And Xin Zhao, base armor has gone down by 5, and the base health has gone down by 40. So overall, most of them I actually got correct, which was actually quite surprising. There was a few base stats here and there that I kind of missed. Obviously, bug fixes I can't really check as well from Ahri. But overall, quite a decent patch, to be fair. Quite glad that Akali's getting nerfed. Some nice nerfs busted Kennen and Akshan. Obviously, both of them were not really getting played too much. No ADC changes, which is quite interesting. No changes again to Xayah. But I think the reason why I didn't change AD or change any ADCs is because of the items. Now, this is where the juicy stuff comes in. Now, Solari Chargeblade, ability haste gone down from 25 to 15. The base damage and the max damage is now magic damage. It's no longer true damage. They have slightly increased the max damage and the base damage of the of what is the magic damage now. It obviously was true damage before. Do I think this will kill the item? Probably not. Obviously, 10 ability haste is quite a bit, and obviously them not doing true damage now is going to be a bit hard to try and get through tanks. But with Solari Chargeblade, you're pretty much guaranteed to get like 100% crit on most champions. Corki, Lucian, Xayah as well. All these champions that you can spam abilities on pretty much. You can just get 100% crit all the time because you're going to get 50% crit most of the time. If you don't know with Solari Chargeblade, the base crit is 25%, but when you use an ability, your next auto attack gains 25% crit chance. So you only really need to build 3 crit items. Then when you use an ability, you'll be able to get 100% crit chance. So champions like Lucian especially were able to get 50% crit chance from this item with ease with all of his combos and everything. Obviously, the ability ace has gone down by 10, so you might not be able to spam his abilities a lot. We'll have to test it and see how things work out. But yeah, overall, I like the change. Sorry, Chargeblade was definitely too strong. Especially the true damage. Some of the true damage was disgusting, especially Vayne as well. Vayne with the true damage on top of the true damage that she got from her second ability was completely disgusting. So really nice change. Warmogs is a really nice change, which me and Snitch talked about a little bit. So now instead of 2,500 maximum health, it's now 950 bonus health. Now Warmogs already gives you 700 bonus health. So that means you only need to build another 250 bonus health to be able to get the Warmogs passive, which is really, really nice. So Bambi Cinders was a good item. Sterox Gauge was another good item that we looked at. You can build a couple of ruby crystals if you want to go for that route as well. In terms of late game, it doesn't really change too much if you want to build Warmogs in like the mid and late game, because most of the time at this point you would have had 2,500 HP anyway. This just makes it that it might be viable for more of a early game push, like maybe a first, maybe a second item for some champions. Maybe like Darrison might be pretty good. Dr. Mundo as well, it also might be pretty good as well, because them champions you want to build a little bit more tank. So you will get the bonus health quite quickly, the 950 bonus health, so you will get the passive, which allows you to heal out of combat very, very quickly. So very, very interesting change, very, very nice change as well, which I think is quite welcoming. You don't really see Warmogs anywhere at the moment, so they kind of had to change this a little bit. So again, it's more of a buff to the early game, but it stays the same in terms of mid and late game if you wanted to build the item, so it's quite nice. Awaken Soulstealer, cool, 5 AP, item still garbage. Haunted Guise and Liandry Torment kind of got gutted. I'm not going to lie. Damage per second has gone down to 1.2. And the maximum damage now is only 6%. Bit of a crazy nerf, to be fair. Kind of gutted Haunting Guise and Liandry Torment, in my opinion. Losing 4% of the max damage is quite a lot. Mage champions, obviously like Kennen, like Orianna, that has all these AoE abilities, quite strong, but obviously they might have to go for a different route now, which is quite nice that they buffed AD Kennen, so you can maybe go for like the Bladed Ruin King on hit build route now, which is quite cool. Luden's Echo, very interesting that this item got buffed. I felt like Luden's Echo was in a pretty good spot anyway, but Luden's now got a 10 ability haste increase and also a 5 AP increase. So, very good for champions like Ziggs. You might see Ahri building it now. Other champions, you might also see Orianna building Luden's now, maybe. There was a thing with Seraph Embrace plus Luden's Echo to get some more AP and ability haste. So that's going to be quite nice and quite interesting. Fod to Life, what we saw as well, the AP ratio on allied healing and self-healing has gone down. And then you got the free champion, and then you got the free champion rotations. Overall, I mean, me and Snitch did pretty well, to be fair, and both our chats did really, really well. I'll be totally honest with you. We got most of these changes. Some of them we didn't get, but we did get most of these changes. I'm really excited for this patch, especially because of the Nunu brand as well. It's going to be really, really cool to see how things work out with them too. And yeah, we're getting a new event, which is, you know, which is a plus, and also Akali's nerfed, which is also a plus. But I'll probably still ban this champion every single game because this champion is just completely disgusting. Yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments of the recent patch. Again, thank you guys for all your support. Sorry I haven't released a video in the last couple of days. I got really busy. Saturday I went to football. Sunday I was casting. Monday I was out with the family. Today, Tuesday, well, today, the day that I'm recording this, Tuesday, in the morning, I went live at like 9 o'clock in the morning to try and find all of these changes before anyone else. And then obviously this video is going to come out on the Wednesday. But we're going to get back to obviously videos. We're going to be trying out some of these new champions, some of these new builds like Kennen. We're going to be trying Solari Chargeblade again to see if it's any good. You know, trying out Rakan, trying out AD Kennen maybe some Akshan ADC. We'll see how things go. We'll see how things go. But yeah, anyways, I appreciate you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for the support as always. I'll see you all very soon. Peace out.